Are we live? Oh.
Yeah, we are live. Hello, you guys. I am so excited to be here today. Brooke Allison, Mindshift expert and achievement strategist. I'm very excited to introduce Miss Emily Moon. She's going to do an incredible training. I've been looking forward to this for a week or more than that now, and I can't wait to kind of have her come in and really show us the magic and the power that is inside of her that we get to really unleash inside of ourselves as well. So take it away, Emily. Tell us like who you are, and I'm excited to dive into this training.
So excited. Let me just quickly do one admin thing of sharing. So that will take me like,
let's share this. Let's make sure that Facebook is working properly. Come say hi as you guys are here. Jump on, say hello. Perfect. I see us. That's amazing. We're going to go ahead and copy this. You guys, if you are not in either of our Facebook groups, so my Facebook group is the Fiercely Unstoppable Entrepreneurs. Please join us. And if you want to talk about your group as well.
And mine is Moon Rising, Where Leaders Rise. Moon Rising, Where Leaders Rise. So please feel free to hop in. I see one of my regulars is here. Yay.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect. We are in there, and I'm going to tag everyone as well. And I'm going to have you take the floor and see if this works. It does.
Oh, here we are. Oh my God. So excited to be here. Thank you to Brooke for having me. So we are in both spaces. To those in my regular circle, this is a pop-up surprise, and I'm so excited for you to have this today. And for those that don't know me, I'm so excited to get to know you. And we are going to be deeply talking about money patterns, which everybody always wants to know about. But I want to first start with who the heck am I, and what are we doing, and what am I teaching about? And because that's the first part. First of all, hello from Rome. I am in Rome, Italy, which is such a vibe, such a money vibe. And I'm originally from Boston. I've lived in Germany. I've lived in London, and literally been all over the world doing Moon Rising, serving people from literally all over the globe. And it is an absolute joy. So with this, and of course, many of you know Brooke, and for those who know me, like there's all different angles and sides of it that are super important, right? There's the strategy side of whatever you do, and then there is the energetic side of what you do. And I specialize in the energetic pieces of the puzzle. So just to make sure you're on the right live, if you want to create more wealth in your life, which can both be money, but also opportunity, then you are definitely on the right live. If you want to expand to your next level, then you are definitely on the right live. And if you want to just get curious on how things can shift and move and change for the better, then you are on the right live. So I am a karmic pattern specialist. I am obsessed with what I do. I freaking love it, if you can't tell. And it's all about getting to the root of where things begin. So as I said, you've got your strategy side. You know that you can't just wave a magic wand. You can, but you can't just wave a magic wand and manifest simply by thinking something. You know that you need the strategy side too. On the other end, you can't just do, because energy plays an important key part. So I come in, and it is like, we know about mindset work, we know about manifestation work, we know about meditation, and I specialize in getting to the root of where patterns begin. Patterns that you will recognize with the mind and recognize with our mindset, but they go so much deeper than that. So I just want to open our minds and open our hearts to something that goes deeper than all of it. And this for me was the game changer when nothing else worked. And for a lot of the people I work with, it's always the one that moves and breaks and changes things when nothing else does. So let's open our minds and open our hearts to other lifetimes, other timelines, because we are made of infinite possibilities. There are infinite paths you can take. There can be any number of possibilities that your life can hold, any number of timelines that you can go down. But every single person has their soul purpose. They have that special something that they know is near and dear to their heart. And by the way, if you've hopped on the live, please say hello. Please say your name. I love to know who's watching. It's a lot more fun than just me talking. So please feel free to interact, chat, ask me questions, because I haven't gone live on money patterns in a while. And I think it's something that everybody always wants to talk about. So everybody has their soul purpose. Maybe we don't know what it is yet. Maybe we're still stepping into it. Maybe we know we are creative. Maybe we know we like freedom and independence as we're making money. Maybe we know that we are an innovator and we want to do new things. Maybe, what is StreamYard saying? Oh, comments can show up. Yay. Maybe we know that we want to help people. Maybe we know that we want to change lives. But whatever it is, you have a soul purpose. Every single person does. And with that, every single person also has karmic patterns that come from other timelines that have to be resolved, that want to be resolved. And these are where your mindset, quote, blocks really come from. And this is not about being stuck on like, oh my God, a block, or there's something wrong. It's not about that at all. It is about empowering you to see that you can overcome literally anything, so long as you take the mindset of I can overcome anything, and that we can pinpoint things and experiences that happen to us so that we can overcome them and really truly break through the glass ceiling. One more thing about me, and then I will shift into the fullness of this class. And please do get notes, because it's going to be loaded with information, and I hope it is so valuable to you. So with me and my own story of money, I have a singing background, and I used to make barely anything, as most musicians do, which is unfortunate but true. So I used to make, barely my rent, $2K a month or so. And then ever since, really shifting these patterns and really getting serious about business, it is consistently 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K a month, every single month. And with a top year of, I think it was $350,000 a year, and I've made multiple six figures in my business. All of this is said, someone's trying to call me. All of this is said simply because I want you to see what's possible and to know you can do it too, whatever it is, and to never stop being curious. But this work was the work that I can pinpoint when I had big financial shifts to the T. There are moments in this work, and I will start with the first pattern I want to talk about, where I went from, barely getting by to my first $8,000 month, which at that time was a huge freaking deal to finally experience that. I will also say, just in the point of being super transparent, it is never just about money patterns. It's not. Making money is about also how we view ourselves, how much we truly believe in ourselves, how much also support we have in our life, which is something that sometimes we have to move negative patterns and negative people out of our life and really truly shift what we take in. And it's about how free we feel to vocalize what we do and to empower ourselves in that way. And also how grounded we feel. So if you know your chakras, so it's really truly the root chakra, the solar plexus, the throat, and it's also the sacral, but that's another story. It's really about feeling all of you and you being all of you. And so it's never just about money karmas, but if we were to talk about money karma, that's what this is. So one pattern to speak about that I see people have to shift, and something that also made a huge difference in me, is this: failed financial provider, which also connects to failed self-protector. And again, when I say these, it's not about labeling something or feeling bad. It has nothing to do with that. But you as an energy, and I see this every day, every single time I work with somebody, we are holding energy in our energetic body that comes from, it's never just the mental side. It's mental, emotional, and energetic. It is all three. And this work gets to where it is held in your energy and goes to, again, all three. So with this, the self wants to have these patterns called out, to be loved and released. Because the problem is we hold on to things every single day and don't realize that we are. But as you're holding on to something, you instead see that you run into the same issue over and over and over again. If you've ever had a repeat pattern or felt stuck in a loop, then clearing karmic patterns will be life changing for you because it finally can get you out of that loop. So, failed financial provider and failed self protector. The first part. This is someone who feels that it's difficult for them to provide, for them to make the money, for them to be the lead, for them to be the one that is creating wealth. And you might think, of course, I want to make money. Doesn't everyone? But when I realized I had to clear this karmic pattern, I had a piece of me, a piece of my energy subconsciously stating that I wanted money to just be given to me, not to actually make it. So how did that happen? Again, my background singing. So there was a piece of me that had like donor dependency or dependency on other people to provide money for me to feel safe, for me to have financial stability. And so the thought of me making money, even though I had jobs, I worked all sorts of jobs. I worked in retail, all sorts of things. And again, if you have comments and questions, please feel free to ask them as we go. And if I've missed any, I don't think I've seen any, just let me know.
I'm just adding some things in our private chat. There are comments going on, but for some reason we're not able to see them. So, like Michelle is here, Pia, Mia, Lakeisha, Jen, Jamie. So I've been just trying to put some things in the chat so they at least, and I'll show my face so people, hi. But I'm trying to figure out, let me just see if we can get the comments in here. But for some reason it's not showing them, in the actual thing.
That's all right. #tech. I know who all of you are. Hi. Actually, maybe not Michelle, but I can't see last name, so maybe. Michelle, last name? Anyway, I'll look after. So thank you all for watching. Okay, so back to failed financial provider. If there is any part of us that on any level of our consciousness, even if it's lying dormant, really truly believes that somebody else should be the one to make money. And I say this because, again, it might sound obvious, but some people I speak to in their consciousness don't actually want to make money because a part of them associates making money as work or something that's negative or something that pulls them away from their sole purpose. None of those things actually serve. And that goes and connects to another pattern that we'll talk about later to do with labor. And by no means are these the only patterns. There are actually hundreds of karmic patterns, hundreds. But these are some of the most common that I see people clear. And also, because they are so common, they are things that in our platform, we provide clearing for so that you just listen to the platform and can shift it. So, failed financial provider. When I shifted this, like truly shifted this was the moment I went to 8K for the first time. And it was a pretty like, holy shit moment because again, I had never made money. So it was like, wait, I did what? But it really came down to really being like taking true ownership of what I'm holding energetically. So I invite you to take true ownership of what you hold energetically. What part of me actually doesn't want to make money? I know it's like a really thing to say, but like, let's go there. Okay. Because the more you go there, honestly, the more you're actually going to have change, even from listening to this live. So what part of me doesn't actually want to make money? What part of me believes that making money is a disconnect to myself? What part of me believes that making money will be easier if it's made by someone else, or that I simply can't do it? That part, that I somehow believe I can't do it. So when you shift to the failed financial provider, which means shifting it through all timelines that the self has not been able to be the provider, the self can then step into the role of provider. And again, in full transparency with this work, it's never just one pattern. It's one pattern that connects to other patterns. Another big piece that is close to this, energetically is failed self-protector. If the self feels in this lifetime that it's hard to take care of themselves, Michelle says still Mercury. Yeah. And that's okay. We love on Mercury retrograde, even when it throws us little tech curveballs. So thanks. Self-protector. I actually worked with a client this morning who had a pieces around that, and she is also a healer and a service provider. It's important for us to, on every single level of our consciousness, every single level, I can't say that enough, really truly believe, know, and feel and own that we have our own back. Which means also telling the little girl or the little boy inside, the little like inner child inside, I've got you. I can provide for you. I can protect you. Those pieces are really, really big. If the self from another timeline or any timeline, even from childhood, feels that level of, the Emily through Moon Rising has helped me break so many karmic patterns that were blocking my abundance. No need to comment on this, but Pia also loves your shirt. Thank you. It's a dress. I'm obsessed with this new dress, so I'm really actually happy you noticed. Ooh, I love a good question. And Pia is a phenomenal example of doing this work long term, because we saw Pia break through debt and then go into like self-empowered, badass business owner making money. And she did that through 21 days to money. And I want to say you took clear. By the way, both of those are in the platform, which you can start today, free. The link is in this. So Pia asked a question, which I'm going to get into, which is, what about the thought pattern that I want my romantic partner to be financially thriving as well? Does this cause a financial block for me? Great question. Great question. Does this thought process tell the universe that I want my partner to provide for me? I don't feel energy on that asking that causes the universe to feel that you want to be provided for. I don't feel that. You can rule that out. The only thing that may be something to just observe and look at curiously would be, and this is something I've thought about recently actually as well, when we are thriving, when we are doing well, and there's people around us that are not doing well, which is just factual, it's going to happen. If we subconsciously hold ourselves back or hold any kind of guilt or feel that we can't do well because they are not doing well, that would be a hindrance. But if it's coming from simply just unconditional love, if I want them to succeed and find their path, and we're not going off our path to help them on their path, but we encourage them while staying on our path, then I see no problem with that thought. I think it's a very, very helpful, loving thought. This is something I run into a lot. I will have a lot of people who, whether it's to do with money or to do with like really working on themselves, that they are working on themselves, but someone that they love isn't on the same wavelength. It is so good to encourage them. It is so good to put the right things in front of them so that they can make that choice. But please don't ever take yourself off your own track or hold and make it your responsibility. That's really, 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 really key. Really, really, really key. So I hope that answers that, because we could talk about that for a while. Mia says, I definitely have something about unmet needs. 100% that affects financial stability in this lifetime. 100%. So when you're clearing, you want to feel that, you don't have any needs unmet, that you can provide for the self. You can provide for the self, because even if you haven't literally done it, shifting that energy will help you to go into a space where you attract situations for you to do it, and so that you feel good to do it and that you genuinely want to. So let me go on. Let's see. Oh, huge one for everybody. Compartmentalizations. And by this, I mean something goes with something. In all lifetimes, we pair something. And whenever I clear these, it always feels like I'm literally breaking a circle. Every time, don't know, but it always feels like a knot. Worth and wealth. Oh my gosh. If we are pairing that our worth is determined by our wealth, we are in deep, deep trouble, my friends. Switch it. I am worthy because I am, and thus wealth comes. But again, this is never just a mindset. This is never just a thought. It's great to start there. It's something. It's something. We'll take it. It's something. But know that, again, this is all lifetimes I've ever lived, all places my energy has ever been. I am worthy because I am. When you're breaking that compartmentalization of worth and wealth, you give yourself freedom to create without repercussion. That's important. Without feeling that, because sometimes finances will go in waves. So if it's a number that determines your wealth, you are not setting yourself up for success. If you always believe that you are worthy, if you always feel, know, expect, perceive on every single level that you are worthy, then wealth has an easier time to come to you. But again, this is deeper stuff than a lot of things will share it to be, because this can also, can we go over how to do that? How to feel worthy? Is that the question?
No, I was thinking like you were saying when you are able to break that and clear that. So how do we actually clear? How do we actually shift this? How do we
Great question.
break free of this? Because this is something that as a high achiever, who are my high achievers out here? Just be like me in the comments, because I'm looking at all of the comments, you guys. I'm literally scrounging them. But I am a high achiever, and it's something that I've been trying to break for a long time, is knowing that my wealth, and I've seen massive amounts of wealth, and I've hit $50,000 cash months and earned over $1 million in my business and et cetera. But when you don't have those, because we all have those moments of the famine, right? We all have the moments of, well, my income isn't that great this month, and feeling that comfortable that it doesn't mean anything about you. And I think logically and consciously we understand that. So I'd love to hear, how could this be related to past things as well as in our unconscious? How do you suggest people release that? I think that would be really helpful for everyone here.
Great question. So, I mean, worth is such a huge subject. We did a whole mastermind just on worthiness. It was like 2 whole months of, of worthiness and wealth, because it's that big of a subject. It's really deeply tied to identity. It's tied to, do I energetically put my identity with a number, with how much wealth I'm creating? Do I see myself only worthy if I am doing X, Y, Z? Is it something that is contingent upon something else? You ask the how. It's one of those things that it's fairly simple, really. We just do a session in the platform, and you have something that, for example, is clearing compartmentalization of wealth and self-worth, which I know for sure is in the Clear program, for example. And you just, I kid you not, you just sit there and you listen. That's it. It's meant to be exceptionally easy. On my end, what I'm doing is I'm going into a true channeled state. There's nothing. Oh, we're gonna have some Italian bells in the background. I love it. You can probably hear that, right? So anyway, with this, all you have to do is just receive and listen. When I'm doing this work, it's not something that's consciously, like, yes, right now I'm consciously speaking to you. We're in like alpha brainwave state right now. We are awake, we're conscious, but we go into a meditative space, and it's not a meditation either. And I say a prayer, and I literally move the energy. You can think of me like an energetic surgeon. I can describe it no better than that. We literally, you have your physical body. And one of my gifts is that I can see, for example, let's say it's you, Brooke, even though I can see you on like tiny screen. You guys can't see her, but I can. Let's say it's Brooke, and from the outside of the physical body, I'm going into the aura, and I'm feeling into where this energy is literally stuck. And I take the compartmentalization of it and I end it. I shift it and I end it. If you're not one-to-one, you still get the exact same effect, because it's in the platform. It's in our abundance journey in the platform. And it's also definitely in 21 Days to Money. Hey, and which is a program in our platform. And it's definitely in Clear program, which is in the platform. And again, you literally just listen to these classes, and all you have to do is just listen, close your eyes, and I will take you through the journey. So I know that sounds like so overly simple, but it is actually that simple. Brooke, give me a thumbs up if I answered the question. Okay, I got a thumbs up. Great. So hi. So compartmentalization of worth and wealth is a big one. Compartmentalization of, I also wrote down as I was walking, defense of comparison. If we have some part of ourselves that likes to compare ourselves to ourselves or compare ourselves to other people's success. Pia says the bells are confirming the truth. Yes, which they well may be, because I thought they were going to go off an hour ago. So there you go. They had to be now. Yeah, it literally is. Because I want to say it's very hard to put the words the work I do into words. It is an experience that you go through by doing the work in the platform or working with me one-to-one. And the shifts you feel even in like 10 minutes are monumental. And as I said, it's more than just talking. We're literally moving the energy. So that we're not comparing ourselves, and that we're not pairing money with something negative, which is another thing to talk about. Which brings me to the other part of part 2, but it's really more like part 3, which is that, okay, if there's a part of us that believes that, okay, this all clusters together. It's a big one. Ready? That if we make a lot of money, that we owe someone. If we make a lot of money, that we have so much responsibility that we can't handle it. Or in other timelines, if us making money meant we had absence of love, sacrifice, died, I'm not kidding, like literally murder, or that in some way I just saw like a crash, that something in our life crashed as a result of making money. If we have that in another lifetime, what do you think happens in this lifetime? It means that when we start to almost make money or start to make money, we go, I think I'll just stay put where I know nothing bad will happen. So this is actually a huge one. I see this a lot with clients, a lot, especially as they're getting to the point where like they've gone over that first or second or third money hurdle. And they're like in the space where like, okay, I want to really get the next level. But there's something around them that's just like, if I do, it will be more than I can handle. And I don't know why. Or that I'll have to give up something important to me. And I don't know why. That's a big one for entrepreneurs. And I just want to say, I totally believe you can have it all. 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 If you don't feel you can have it all, then please let me help you with a clearing session or the platform. So that is a big one, which brings us to the next one. I've lost count because I actually wrote way more, but I'm not going to go to a full hour. I feel like we won't necessarily need to. We'll let it naturally flow, which is indebted, servant, or slave. Those are some tough words to say. Those are some very touchy, sensitive words. Please know that I know that. Having worked with, I have no idea how many hundreds of people at this point, so many of us. Oh yeah. I can do a little bullet point list, no problem. Thanks, Brooke. Oh God, I've been delving into this and I'm like, it literally could be any of these. Mia is currently a client of mine, so I can say this. Don't worry about like, because you're in the platform, like, okay, let me back up. This first initial moment, if you're brand new to me, this is to get curious. Once you're in the platform, just keep going on the journey. It's not that you have to know every single piece. It's just that when you run in, like, let's say you enter the 21 days to money program, which is in the platform, you go the journey. If you feel called to a certain part that you're like, you just listen to it and you mentally make sure that you're really resolving it, but you let it like integrate. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you don't have to overthink it or overly know it. Don't let that get in your way. And instead just go the process as you feel intuitively led. Let it be simple. It's like my new tagline, let it be simple. So with the thing of servant, slave, indebted, again, tough words. I have worked with so many entrepreneurs who have pieces of this, who have pieces of in another lifetime or in their ancestral line some element of this. And it's usually people who have like incredible ideas, but they feel so trapped within themselves, so like held back. So if I step forward, if I do something for me, that something else is going to take over, or it's just really, really dense energy. And it's extremely important to move those if you've got those. Those are so common, without a doubt, that is in our platform, because I see that like all the time. Okay. Pia says, trust the process, and she's dead right. And again, she's been super, super successful with this work. So she's dead right. As in, again, when you're in the platform, go to the pieces you feel drawn to go to and just listen. That easy. Lakeisha says, I just feel like I have potential to step into my destiny, but I'm stuck. I've been stuck for years, and I really believe it's because I have no support or no one to bounce my ideas off of and level up. You do, because you have Moonrising community, because we're here. You do. Even if your current circle is not the circle for your growth, which happens a lot, it's so crucial and so important to find a circle that is online. So important. The people you're around are key. And with that, in the Moonrising world, like, yes, we have our open community. Everyone is welcome in the open community, but the platform community is meant to be a space that is for growth, meant to be a space for that, space where it's not just that we're doing healing and up-leveling together, but also that it's a true community. You have it online. Make sure that you use it. Make sure that you use it. Where people go kind of a way that doesn't help them is they feel super, super isolated, or I have no one, and then they stay with I have no one, and then they limit what's possible, versus leaning in, finding people of your like mind, and really truly committing with them to becoming your best person. You will have change with that. Like, truly, some of my best friends are not in person because I travel all the time. I do. I travel literally all the time. And I've been able to shift and up level with a circle that's in like California and Connecticut and literally all over. So if you don't have your people in person where you are, find them online. And you absolutely can find them in the Moonrising community. I'm confident of that. That was so important to me to create. Oh, I would love that. Brooke says, I may have to meet you overseas. Please do. That would be awesome. I will also run retreats again someday, but I got no idea when. So yeah. Okay. Mia says, even when it's painful and I've done the abundance journey and literally all I can think about the moment is that I'm going to go broke and I don't know what to do. Those are deep, 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 deep fears, my friend. And that means that the biggest thing is to, I heard not rush, and to give yourself true, true, true love. So, and also I know we've got a one-on-one coming up. I also know that. So I will see you and I will help you in that. But don't feel like you have to rush to find the solution. It will come in the pieces as your being is ready. It will. And sometimes the road isn't easy. Sometimes the road has whatever it has. But if you've not found the piece that's like really for you yet, you will find it. Trust the process. You will find it, whether it's in a person, a moment, a different, maybe it's the clear program, maybe it's a different part, maybe it's a different approach. But to be patient with yourself, to give yourself unending self-love, and to truly, I just heard forgiveness, to give the self deep, 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 deep forgiveness. This is not a 3-second story. This is a life story. And Mia, I will see you soon in our one-to-one. Okay. Michelle says, making a lot of money equals high taxes. That is a block for me. Totally understand. But, oh gosh, there was some, what was I going to say? Wouldn't it be better to make, I don't know, $500,000 and have more taxes and be able to impact more people. And I think that's also with taxes, because I think that's just a compartmentalization. What is it specifically about taxes? Because, and this could go on a whole side tangent, but I won't go too far. However, you want to feel good where you're spending money. You want to feel good where you're receiving money. If taxes specifically, because it has to do with government, doesn't feel good and feels like, I don't want to do that. What is it about the government or something above or something you don't know that doesn't feel good to pay for? So if you can bring in that the self feels peace over putting money towards any place that you put money, you will have that shift a bit. But maybe look into your energetic pieces around government or around things that are kind of beyond what you can see. If you can conceptualize taxes in a slightly different way, you may also see that change. Okay. Another big one. Are we still good? Are we still ready for more? Yes? Someone give me a head nod. Okay. Michelle says authority issues. Yeah. Basically. By the way, I wanted to say the authority piece, that came up really, really, really loudly when I did the Clear program. And it has come up again when I'm running the voice mastermind, as in, it's not just, we got you, Mia. We got you. We got you. We got you. I just want to go back to what Mia said for a hot second. It is so just important to be loving with the self and enjoy every minute of the process, even when you feel like you're not getting anywhere, because you are. Brooke is nodding her head. She knows. That's important because you will go through all stages. I have gone through every single stage in the last few years. It has been worth it. That doesn't mean all stages make sense. That doesn't mean all stages are a quick jump. Sometimes it is knocking on a door fiercely, but just keep going and keep giving love. Okay. So authority, this. I definitely can see how it could be a block for money. It often is something to do with how we feel about our voice. Do we feel safe to really express ourselves? Because will authority take it away? Or do I feel safe in general? Or do I feel that authority will block me, push me away, exile me? Begin to see how this goes into other lifetimes. or punish me, or say I've done something wrong when I haven't. I see this a lot with what is it? Am I trying to say? Like judgment patterns, like fears of judgment, like fear, like will I be accepted? That kind of a thing. So yeah, authority is a big one to look at for a lot of people. And if authority is a big piece, it was either Clear or Clear Reborn that has that in the platform. Oh, hi, Kristen. Kristen's my VA. We love Kristen. Hi. So, okay, 2 more things. Well, God, I wrote like 3. There's so many. Labor patterns. I won't go deep into this one, but labor patterns. If we deeply, deeply, deeply associate that making money is work, if we deeply associate that making money isn't fun, if we deeply associate that it doesn't feel good, it's important to feel good. It's like so 101, but like it's so important. It's important to feel good. It's important to feel good. The more you make money into play and pleasure and fun, the more you are in play and pleasure and fun, the more that making money gets to be joy. And you might hear that and go, what the hell? But I promise you this is true. Where can you build in more of your full personality into how you're making money? Where can you be more of your full, complete self into how you're making money? So, for example, I once had somebody, and I swear I'm not just saying this because I love to travel, but she always felt that to make money, she had to stay put and just work. But her spirit, her energy actually wanted to play and be in different locations. So if she is to play and be in different locations because her being wants that, she will make more money. It's what feels good to me. And when I feel good, when my vibration is in a space of feeling good, what's an idea that comes to me that I can act upon, that I can actually do an action on, an aligned action that brings in money versus just, I have to make money to survive, because that's not a fun vibration. Allow yourself to go into a space of play, pleasure, and feeling good. And then ask yourself, how can I, God, not how can I, but bring in more money opportunities or money ideas, because the ones that come to you will be glorious. Okay, asking source, is there anything else we should share? Because I've got like 3 more, but I'm like, what's the most important? Sometimes I've seen that and this is also, I want to say, this has been with people who were doing very well. This was somebody, a particular client who was a billionaire. So you'd think she's got no financial patterns or no karmic patterns to clear. Not true. Not true. She still did. We all do. For her, there were big pieces to do with her family's ancestry, to do with like guilt around money, to do with greed around money, and to do with business failure or failure with money. So all to say, and this came up with another, again, extremely like well off, a guy who was doing really well in his business, shared a business with his wife, but they had business failure energy. And I was like, does this make any sense to you? And then he's like, well, yeah, actually, we did lose everything a few years ago. And I was like, the thing is, even the biggest skeptic on the planet to this work, he knew that he went through a business loss. If he was to clear his patterns from all lifetimes, and by clear, I mean give peace to, around business loss, even in his ancestry, guess what? A, he won't have that happen again. And B, it won't be something haunting him in the back of his mind, making him wonder, will I be safe in business as I expand? I think that actually summarizes really, really well why we need this work. That we are not, I will just finish up. We are not making ourselves small in order to be fit to fit in or to feel liked. The witch wound is a whole big piece of this. If we are self-silencing, if we are muting ourselves, I did this with a client today, actually, this morning. If there's a part of us that feels that we can't fully see the full vision, or can't fully step into our bigness, or can't fully be successful because it comes with, again, we talked about this, responsibility or something negative, or that if I fully show up as me or fully speak my truth, that something bad will happen. This can relate to times in another lifetime that we've, again, been murdered or been judged or been misunderstood. Something else I see quite a bit is people in other lifetimes who they would show up as themselves or like be their full self, and something would go drastically wrong emotionally. So they actually would pair that with like heartbreak and pain. So that, again, when they come close to it in this lifetime, the self doesn't know what's going on. They just know that they don't feel right. They know that they feel resistance. If you shift that, that resistance goes. Michelle says, this makes so much sense. I'm glad. So I will end it with saying, and I have no idea how many I said. It was definitely more than 5. Recap. Okay. Well, let's talk about the total of what we talked about. Failed financial provider, failed self-protector. As I said, those are 2 of the biggest ones. And again, it has to be the opposite. If we're clearing failed anything that we feel, identify, I'm a financial provider. I am a self-protector. Compartmentalizations. So for example, compartmentalizing our worth with our wealth, or compartmentalizing that money is evil. With this, there was a client who had this that was quite heavy. And when we shifted this, she very quickly made money in her business after a break. Or that growth signifies that someone will want something from me. I will be super open that that is something I've had to clear with myself. I want to say like a few months ago. And when I did, I started having more consistency. So that was really interesting to observe. Things were quite up and down. And then when I shifted that, if I'm making a lot of money, that I don't believe someone's going to want something from me or need something from me. And when I did, as I said, I saw more stability. So that was interesting to observe. The next part was servant, slave, or indebted. Again, I know that those are heavy, 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 but truly every single person would benefit from having that shifted. Every single person. Then business failure in other lifetimes, financial loss in the family. I forgot about this until just now. I had a client who in another lifetime, they like lost a house, or they were like something about their like foreclosure. They lost a house, they gambled, like something went wrong with the house. And when we shifted that, she started having more increase in what did she do? It was like trading. She had like her best trades yet. So that was interesting. Labor patterns, and that we're not making ourselves small to fit in. And I will end with, it is so important to be on the same frequency as money. It is so important to be on the same frequency as money. If you are not around the frequency of money, get yourself around it. It can be in the smallest way. It can be walking into certain places. It can be putting on certain clothes. It can be traveling. But if you are around energy that's constantly putting you in a stuck vibration or like a held back vibration, it is your responsibility to do whatever you can in your situation, because sometimes you can't actually leave the situation. Whatever you can in your situation to be around a financial vibration, even if it's simply like listening to podcasts by people who have made a lot of money, or listening to the Moon Rising platform and the parts that feel the best to you, or reading something by someone who's made a lot of money. Be in the vibration of money and let that be an important, like fun thing to digest. That's important. Because everything's energy. Everything, everything, everything. The water you drink has energy. The water you drink at the restaurant has energy. Everything. So I really hope that was helpful. I really do. I hope you've all learned something today. Hi, Brooke.
Okay, so I want to just like really quickly. So how does one know? Like, how would we know that we need to clear one of these karmic patterns? Like, how would that show up in our life presently or in our business? I mean, is it just a knowing? Or is there a way that it kind of manifests itself into physical reality that we would know, okay, we need to clear these as quickly as possible?
It's going to depend on what the pattern is, but there's a few easy ways to know. The quickest is, do you feel intuitively drawn to anything I've said or to my energy? If it's a yes, there's probably something that I hold that can help you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really important general way to choose who helps a person next. Who helps is not even the best word. Who expands a person next intuitively.
Yeah.
If you feel curious, if there's a part of you that's like, I don't know what it is, but I'm curious, then there's a piece of the puzzle that I and this work have for you. The other like really general way to know is if any of those things resonated with you, not necessarily like, oh, I've been murdered in another lifetime, but if any of the scenarios I mentioned, a lot of them did have to do with this lifetime, that's a way.
A lot of people listening did feel like they resonated.
Yeah, definitely. If it resonates, then definitely there's some pieces that would help. And the other part is if you in general notice repeat patterns, that's another way to know. And obviously it's not always glaringly obvious, but if you go, I'm in the same situation as this. It is a very exciting thing when you finally break a repeat pattern. It's big. It's never, ever, ever a line with like, it's never that. It is always I did this in my cycle program, which is again also in the platform. You break cycles through a spiral and you spiral out. So I think that's also important to say, because I think sometimes people just expect it's just a change, but those big changes actually happen over like months and months and months and months sometimes. So yeah, look for repeat patterns and just follow your intuition. I mean, I'm a very intuitively based person, so of course that's really what I feel. Does that answer that? I
Yeah,
hope.
I think so. I want to open it up to see if anybody has any questions. This has been so amazing. Emily, you are awesome. You have definitely, I'm sure people are learning so much, gaining so much, having ahas, having breakthroughs. But if anybody has any questions at all, now is the time to ask them. I am literally on every single page refreshing to find every comment, everything here. Esther said that your top is beautiful. And says money to me. Woo! You got lots of good vibes in that dress today. Okay, let me just read
Yeah.
quickly. If anybody has any questions, we are going to be doing a couple different things, and I know she'll come in and answer any questions as well. I did tag like a few of the really beautiful just little quotes that I felt like you said. So
Oh,
grab as many of those as I could. And let me just refresh a few pages. How are we feeling? Did we enjoy this? Did you have a good time? What was your biggest breakthrough? I would love to hear it. I know that Emily would love to hear it. Even if you're watching the replay, we want you to participate like as if you're live. We want you to be here and be in it and really allow this to be a space that you get to shift, you get to change, you get to elevate and evolve.
I want to add one more thing. I never do these with the whole, like, I don't want anyone to feel like, oh my God, I've got so much to change. No. It's about, ooh, I get to be really curious because there's more ways that I can grow. Absolutely. Let it be a dang good thing. A dang good thing. And again, these are just like the most common. It can look all sorts of ways, which is why at the platform we do very different varying events. But yes, if anybody has any questions, I am here.
I was just refreshing really quickly to see, since our technology was not working the way we hoped. But I was able to kind of grab. Let me just double check this one here. This is awesome. We are going to be going live, where I will be live here soon, teaching on something amazing about hitting your next $100,000. So I'm very excited about that. But it doesn't look like we have any other questions. If you want to kind of close it out, oh, I did post, why don't you tell people like where they can find you and what that link is about, how they get started, whatever that next step is. And then we can kind of close out with whatever you feel like people need to hear.
Beautiful. Okay, so firstly to say, as Brooke kind of, gave a little hint to, you will also be hearing from her super soon. She will be a guest in my space, and I'm so excited. We are so lucky because she does something very different than what I do, but with the same goals from a different angle. And that is important because the full puzzle, the full piece, and like I love mixing strategy with energy. So we are super, super lucky to have that. Date TBD. It's coming out soon. What to say? The best way, if you're brand new to this space, brand new to me, then of course, add me as a friend. Do join the free community, which is Moonrising, where leaders rise. And if this spoke to you and you're not already in our platform, although I think most everybody that was commenting is in the platform, but if you are not, or if you see this later on replay, honestly, just get started. Just get curious and start clearing, start shifting, start activating. It's, again, as I said, not just about what can I remove, but what can I shift from a space of pure unconditional love, and what can I activate within me, and how can I move my vibration to be in the frequency of my truest authentic self. And all of those pieces, you will hear audio tracks in the platform, in the Moonrising platform. So that platform can be accessed through moonrising.com. And there is a free 2-week trial that you can get started.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. This has been absolutely an exciting pleasure. I know people are going to be messaging and commenting later as well with all of their breakthroughs. And just like you said, get curious. And, I love that, because I think that's a really great way to start building your self-awareness muscle to be able to shift, to be able to understand. So thank you so much for your time today, and your wisdom and your excellence and your beauty and your beautiful dress.
It's a great dress. Jeez.
You got like 3 compliments on it. So, it's a good one.
We'll take it. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Everybody later. Please message me if you guys have any questions. Love you.
Bye.